What an idiot. What a dumbass, dude.
This part, I was dying, dude.
Hi, watchers. We're watching whatever. I'm Nathan.
Danny.
We're back here today with House of the Dragon, episode 5. I don't want to drag the intro out too long with anything. I'm excited to get back into the show, though. I am enjoying it a lot more. So the only thing is, again, like I said before last time, I'm not really emotionally connected to pretty much any of the characters. Although I would say Damon is the one that I most have some kind of some type of not a connection, but I'm liking his character. Even though he's not a good character right now, he's not a good person, I'm liking the character. So
Right, he's like kind of like the villain in the story right now.
Right now, yeah, right? He's like the villain.
Yeah.
But I would be pretty sad if they ended off killing him this season.
Let's see what happens. Can't believe we're already on episode 5.
I know.
All right.
So, all right. Before we get started, everyone on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Please remember to like and subscribe. Leave us your comments. Give us your thoughts on the show. Give us your thoughts about us, whatever it is. I read all the comments, and we really appreciate everything you say, even if it is criticism, just to let us know and how we can change and do things better here. If you want to check us out on our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/watchingwhatever. Watch our full-length reaction and commentary on there along with us. For our Patreon viewers, thank you very much for being here with us and supporting us. We always appreciate you, and we're forever grateful for all of you. So with that being said, we're going to start the show.
Beautiful shot.
Care for some company?
I'd rather ride alone.
Good fortune to you.
So who are these characters? Was that the name of Daemon's wife?
Husband?
Okay. They finally show her.
What brings you to the Vale? Our sheep are prettier, after all. Cast you aside in favor of a little girl. Will you strike the child down, or...
Oh, crap. Oh, that brought some flashbacks. I almost got rolled on by a horse when I was a kid.
I knew you couldn't finish.
That reminds me of you. For a friend's thing, we went fishing one time on a boat, and that was Danny.
Dude, but afterwards I felt so much better.
Oh yeah.
I was eating like sandwiches. I was like chilling. I was like 100% after that, man.
Oh yeah, man.
A moment.
You chose Rhaenyra.
Your informant was wrong. An honest mistake, perhaps, but I did not foresee this.
You should have. The realm will not accept her. And to secure her claim, she'll have to put your children to the sword.
Is Rhaenyra, is she cold-hearted enough to do that? I mean, I know historically people have done it, but is she herself, that cold-blooded enough to kill off her own siblings?
Have we seen any flashes of that, you think? Those are her half siblings, right?
Yeah, those are her siblings.
Yeah.
So far, I haven't really seen anything that would make me think that she's completely capable of that.
I agree. Like she avoided like conflict with
Daemon.
With Daemon. Yeah.
I was just thinking about that.
Where is Lord Corlys? He should be here to receive the king.
My father has but just returned from his long journey.
Let's just get on with it.
Serena like grew up.
Yeah, I mean.
Lord Laris, the weather has been lovely.
Indeed. And yet it is a dark day for the realm.
That guy's a son, you said, right? Of the one of the council members?
Yeah, the guy who was saying,
To
what is the
marry.
meaning of this? That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're perhaps in need of an ally? Princess Rhaenyra, for example.
State your purpose, my lord.
I did wonder if she could be relied upon now that she's unwell. It's just that on the very same night your father was dismissed, the Grand Maester delivered a tea to the princess's chambers.
That the Grand Maester himself brought.
At the direction of the king, as I understand it.
So what's his play? Whose side is he on? Obviously not Rhaenyra's.
I must have been in error. See, I thought for Melos himself, that condition must be something very serious. What happiness it is to have been wrong.
My guess would be
fool's
that
name is Laris.
my guess is that he's siding with Otto, obviously.
Right.
Or at least that same thought.
Right.
His son, right?
So that's his. Yeah, that's his dad right there. That dude.
And his brother is like
And he's
the
the new
fiercest
hand.
knight.
Yeah, it's like the strongest knight in the kingdom or whatever.
Yeah.
Cousin.
Though I do wish we could meet under happier pretenses.
Damon's wife, the Lady Rhea Rhys, has passed.
She was thrown from her horse. Her neck and skull both crushed in the fall.
I wish to propose a marriage between your son, Selena, and my daughter and heir, the Princess Rhaenyra.
We would like to know how the succession will be handled.
She and Selena's firstborn child, regardless of gender, will inherit the Iron Throne from her. Upon their birth, Selena and Rhaenyra's children shall take their father's name, Balarion. At such time when their firstborn ascends the Iron Throne, he or she will do so bearing the name Targaryen.
I was gonna say it's not a bad condition for them. If all went well, they would guarantee a grandchild on the throne.
I mean, this is a smart move, but he should have done it a long time ago.
Yeah.
I hold nothing against you, cousin.
Dare I say it is a matter of taste?
It's not for lack of trying.
Yeah, so he's not into women.
And what do you propose?
That we perform our duty to our fathers and to the realm, and when it's done, each of us dines as we see fit.
Perhaps I overextended myself?
It's undignified of the king to drag himself here and beg for Laenor's hand.
Damn, undignified.
Means he's desperate.
Yeah.
Familiarity is not at issue.
I'm sure Laenor's already taken with her. She's grown quite comely these last few years.
You know his true nature.
He's still young.
He'll grow out of
He
it.
will outgrow it.
We are placing our son in danger. Rhaenyra's succession will be challenged.
By all rights, you should be Queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
I myself have put the business behind me.
I've always feared the day you'd have to marry a woman. Will you wear your crown today, Rhys?
Is someone gonna spot them?
You'll need a sworn protector.
I can't stand their hair. It just looks like so fake, man.
She has a paramour of her own.
Like even sometimes like Viserys's hair kind of bugs me, but like those like the dreads or the braids or whatever that they have, I don't know, man. Just looks. They could have done a better job, dude.
I think that was probably like on the low end of their concerns.
Right.
Budget on hair or budget on dragons? Let's go with dragons.
Right.
I've heard you say so many times how you loathe the lot of your position. I'm asking you to come with me.
He's sprung.
We will be nameless and free.
She's already fought so hard to keep her inheritance.
You're Knight of the Kingsguard, bro.
Yeah, he already broke it. He broke his vow.
That's true. That's true.
I am the crown, Sir Criston. Do you think I would choose infamy in exchange for a bushel of oranges or a ship to a shire. A marriage does not have to be the end.
She wants you as a side piece, bro.
So you want me to be your whore?
I want us to continue as we began with you as my sworn protector.
I've soiled my white cloak. It is the only thing I have to my name. I thought if we were married, I might be able to restore it.
Hey, fellow watchers, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check us out on our Patreon. Links are in the description below. And now back to our program. Criston's kind of Did you really think she's gonna run off with you?
He sprung.
Yeah, you know, it's, oh, man.
Yeah, man. He was being unrealistic for sure, man.
Yeah.
You've been summoned.
I fear I must question you on a delicate matter, Sir Criston.
He's gonna feel betrayed and reveal the truth.
Did they wear the same armor in Game of Thrones? Did it look exactly the same?
I don't even remember what it looked like.
Oh, because that armor looks dope. It makes me want to play WoW.
There's been a rumor. A lapse of morals. Breaches, or rather lapses.
It happened, Your Grace.
Oh my gosh.
I have committed it.
And he really thought she was talking about him. What an idiot. What a dumbass, dude.
This part, I was dying, dude.
What a... You know what? Harakiri right now, dude. Seppuku, right now.
This gives her a chance to play the game, man.
I would ask only this.
She's pissed now because she knows Rhaenyra lied to her.
And having me tortured, he would sentence me mercifully to death.
This guy's is an idiot. Oh my gosh.
You may go.
I want someone to throw him off that balcony. He's such a little bitch. Nothing against the actor. I obviously know that the people playing the part versus the characters are very different.
The leechings have always brought His Grace relief.
Is that like the grayscale?
Is his arm covered with something, or is that the disease? That's what the disease looks like.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
What the disease looks like, huh?
It looks like... It kind of looks like it's like that grayscale, right?
Yeah.
What will they say of me when their histories are written? I have neither fought nor conquered, nor suffered any great defeat.
You became a king by default.
Some might call that good fortune.
Not even by default, but...
No, that's what I'm saying, by default, because you're a man.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Is it not better to live in peace than to have songs sung after you are dead?
I may have been forged a different man. It is perhaps best not to know.
We're gonna jump to his death?
It is with great pleasure that His Grace, King Viserys, announces the start of the royal wedding celebrations.
Congratulations, Your Grace. You have made a fine match for the princess.
Thank you, Lord Jason.
Selena Velaryon, the future King Consort.
Oh, what kind of trouble is Alicent gonna cause here?
Like, for this ceremony, like Rhaenyra did up her hair all crazy. When then they show up, like, with, I don't know, man.
I mean, think about when you got married. Did you do your hair any crazy?
I did. I sprayed like stuff on my head to make it look like I had more hair. I really did.
Man.
Yeah, man.
We honor the crown's oldest and fiercest ally, House Velaryon, with House Targaryen and
for the sake of her son, she's gonna reveal to everybody what happened, right?
The beacon on the high tower. Do you know what color it glows when Old Town calls its banners to war?
Green.
Again, like you said before, right? No one's talking to each other.
The look on her face. It's pretty good acting, man.
Two jealous lovers. One pissed off queen because she was lied to. One pissed off uncle because he wants to be heir. And a bunch of people who don't want a girl as a queen or as a heir. Or whatever his name is.
We thank you for coming, Uncle.
Know that Old Town stands with you.
In the Vale, men are made to answer for their crimes.
I totally forgot about this.
I am cousin to your late lady wife. You know better than anyone. It was no accident.
The truth is, I'm glad you've come. I wish to speak to you about my inheritance. Lady Rhea and I had no heirs. As her husband, whatever she was due, now passes to me. She stood to inherit all of Runestone, did she not?
There's so many things going on.
Yeah, man. She's checking him out. Damon is pretty badass, right?
Well, I mean, yes and no. So far, there hasn't been anything to show really like... Well, no.
He killed the crab feeder.
Yeah, he killed the... Unfortunately, they didn't show that fight, but he was fighting against all those people. So, yeah.
Right.
Okay, I forgot about that.
You appear to be every young maiden's dream.
That's only because you don't know me yet.
Perhaps that is something we might remedy, my prince.
Perhaps it is.
Selena is quite dear to me. As I know. The princess is to you.
And we should swear to each other to guard them and their secrets.
The little bitch already spilled the secret.
Itin de Mario sutvetila meri isa ruban. Nikesa dintok stor un aledra aderio isa. Nuko kepo misiri robakas.
Dang. Dang.
Wow.
Oh.
He destroyed his face.
Oh. Ugh.
We stand here tonight in thanks and praise.
Wow.
Tiny ass ceremony.
No.
Warrior.
No tournament, no festival, just...
Hear now their vows.
I am yours, and you're mine.
I proclaim Lenore of House Velaryon, Rhaenyra of House Targaryen, to be man and wife, now and forever.
Sir Criston.
I knew something was gonna stop him. Oh, that's great, dude. That's awesome how they did that. Wow. So that was episode 5 of House of the Dragon, season 1. Again, since you've already seen the show, I'll give my thoughts first.
Okay.
So for one, I was very surprised at the beginning of the show, right, where you have Daemon and they show his wife, and I mean, just like that, she's gone. Right?
Yeah.
She literally had, of all the times they've mentioned her, she had 3 minutes of screen time or something like that, less than that.
Right.
You know, I do like the show with all the intrigue and all the drama and all the craziness. But I wrote it down here. I feel like right now it's a bit much. Like I feel like they're doing a little too much more than necessary, right? To the point where it kind of gets a little confusing at times. Like what's going on? Who is this? Why are they? Right? It's the same thing as if someone is speaking to you, and they're speaking quickly, and they're talking and they're talking and they're giving you all this different information. Like let's say a professor at your college or you know, teacher at school. And they're giving you all this information, but they're not slowing down and stopping for you to process any of the information. They move on to a new thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and so by the end of it, you barely remember like what was given at the beginning, maybe a little bit of what was at the end, and then or at the middle, and then at the end. Right? It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of time to really process what's going on, because rather than kind of spacing it out, I feel like they're clumping all this kind of intrigue, all this, you know, all this drama into more of into just kind of more of like one area within the show, right? Within the span of the 45-50 minutes that the show is right now. So there's been several times where I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of lost a little bit, or I've forgotten certain things, right? I completely forgotten about when Damon showed up, and we're sitting there. It was just in the back of my mind. I didn't really think about the fact that he had killed his wife, right?
Right.
And that guy is sitting right there in front of him, her cousin.
Right.
So it just feels like there's a lot to take in at one time, and it makes me kind of lose focus a bit, right? So maybe that's just me. I'm sure there's some people there who can clearly follow along, have no problems with it. But again, it just feels like I'm sitting in class with a teacher who goes a little too fast for me to be able to fully keep up properly.
That you know, everything you said, I love it. Yeah, I agree. I think obviously I've already watched this one, so going through it the second time, you know, since it's making everything a lot more clear. It also, you know, like whenever you rewatch something, you see like the connections they've made that you will need to pay attention to in the future, which you're kind of probably slowly getting. Yeah, I mean, I could see how for like a first time viewing, yeah, they did throw so many. And that's usually what happens in these kind of like in episodes, like wedding episodes or like funeral episodes or something like that. They usually, that's a chance for us to kind of see all the storylines all kind of come together in one place, right? Like and I think they did a decent job. I think you're gonna notice a lot even more things like in the upcoming episodes, the stuff that happened in this episode that you may have missed as well, or you weren't thinking about at all. I think yeah, I think my favorite part in this, in terms of like the episode and was when Rhaenyra, when she basically says, hey, like if you have an opinion about what I'm doing, then marry me then, right? Cut through my father's Kingsguard and take me away and make me your bride or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's freaking crazy, dude. Like, I mean, is she being sincere? Is it like what do you think?
I took that as her kind of challenging him, going, you know, you're not going to do this, right? You're not going to fight against the Kingsguard. You're not going to take me away, whatever. So it's kind of I feel like it's kind of her questioning his manhood in a sense, right?
Very nice.
So that's the way I took it. Not that she wanted him to do that, but she's like, you know, it's a challenge. You think you can do this, and do it here. You know, you got your chance. I'll give myself to you, but you got to go through all this.
Right. You think you know, like if she made that same offer to Sir Criston, how do you think he would have reacted?
I think he would have tried. Right? I really dislike Criston's character now. Right? Not because of anything with like, oh, he likes Rhaenyra, and he's such a crybaby character. He's letting his emotions cloud everything. I mean, he beat this one guy to death. Who knows what was talked about, but he beat the dude to death.
Right.
And then he goes off all sad and about to, seppuku. Right. I'm just like, dude, just do it. Get it over with, and let's get this character out of here. I hate him. He's such a crybaby.
That's funny. I think you actually fall into the majority opinion of this character.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think if he was any other character in the show, it wouldn't be that. But because he's supposed to be this badass knight, right? A white cloak, a Kingsguard, and all this stuff, and to see him going this way, you're like, dude, like, I understand the human emotion and stuff, but you're acting like you're a 6-year-old kid having a tantrum because you can't get your way.
I was thinking like most of the Kingsguard we see throughout Game of Thrones, even they're really stand-up people. The one guy who kind of we see him break his vows and kind of go like kind of he's like a renegade or whatever was Jaime. Right?
I mean, when we I don't know if I don't remember if they showed it in the show, but in the book, right, when Robert and Ned were fighting. Remember the 3 Kingsguard? They're like, your king is already dead, and they're like, we have our vow, and we're gonna keep our vow. And even though they knew that their king was horrible, they kept true to the vow and fought to the end. Right? Very valiant, very loyal, and honorable.
Yeah, I mean, I think many of the characters we've seen throughout all of history and all of literature and cinema many times, right? Man's ruin, dude, is a woman.
Is a woman. Man's ruin was a woman many times. Yes.
Right.
True to form here,
Right.
Now, what I'm curious about, also at the end, we had this impromptu wedding, and then Viserys collapses. So in the next episode, is it going to be are we going from a wedding to a funeral, or is it just he's going to be sick in bed and on the verge of dying?
Yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that's kind of lacking is like a true kind of villain for all of us to despise. I'm not sure if Daemon is like. I think Daemon's supposed to be that guy, right?
But he's not, because
he tries to ruin his niece, right? And then he kills his own wife. I mean, he's pretty bad, dude. But why do we forgive him?
Because technically he was the heir. He lost his place.
Right. And so him kind of like trying to get his throne, like he's trying to get what he deserves, right? And I think that's what's fueling Corlys too. Why he was so like upset like that, like his family is because he said it in this episode. He was supposed to. So he feels like there's an injustice. He says, by any means necessary, I'm gonna get us what we deserve, and it's very interesting, right? But do we feel this, like we're able to forgive Daemon for so much because we can understand, like, man, he's pissed off because he's not getting his rightful position or whatever. But do we feel the same way about Rhaenys and their family?
No, I don't for Rhaenys, only because they've shown so little of her, and aside from knowing that her place was taken away just because she was a woman. Right, there wasn't much else to her, so there was no feeling of any kind of connection or anything to make us understand her plight and make us feel bad for her and want her to regain anything.
I agree.
Yeah, I think, so in that sense, I didn't feel anything for her being like, oh, that should have been her spot. But for Daemon, you do feel it because they show you him. They show you not only that. That was his spot, but how he got removed from it. When Viserys sits there and goes, "You are no longer my heir," and kicks him out and tells him to go away and stuff. So, you feel that more. Right. So
Right.
again, it's a sense of justice.
Right.
Kind of.
That's
Twisted,
a good point
twisted
though. They
justice,
kind of
but justice.
right. That's a good point though. They didn't really give Rhaenys a lot of like a lot of moments for us to kind of root for her and her family. Like
'Cause I don't think that's what they wanted.
That's very true. I don't know. I think so. I think they're all supposed to be like you know, like vying for the throne as well. You know.
Yeah, but
I
I want to say, to me at least, it feels like their focus wasn't for us to feel for Rhaenys really as much as more about Corlys and Rhaenys plotting to try to get back into that
right through their
zone,
kids or their
through
grandkids or
kids.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I gotta say, I do not like Rhaenyra. She's not a character. I root
really?
for. Yeah, she's not. She's not a character I root for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like she's this. She almost gives off a vibe of now. Before I say anything else, she has shown intelligence. She has shown some integrity, right? But at the same time, she gives off this vibe of being just spoiled little brat.
Okay, I can see that.
You know?
Yeah.
And something about it just turns me off. I'm just like, I don't like this character.
Right. Like
I'm kind of rooting that she doesn't make it as queen.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So
that's interesting. Well, it's gonna get even more kind of interesting.
It's gonna get
future,
crazier, I'm sure.
So,
and with that being said, please, everyone, again on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave us your comments. Check out our Patreon or watch our full-length commentary and reaction to the show. For our Patreon viewers, we thank you very much for being here with us and watching along with us. We really appreciate you, and we thank you for your support. And until next time, we'll see you on Game of Thrones Episode 6. Bye. And sorry, not Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon, Episode 6, Season 1. Bye.